Hey besties, let's throw some shade, honey. You ready to get into it? Child, it's been 3 weeks and we are back. Kimmy's Afro is back, honey. And Marcel wants to go on the girls' trip too because it's hosted by his boo, Mel. Hey, besties, it's Behind the Shade with another recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Ciao. Let's throw some shade and get into it. It's season 8, episode 13. Forecast Sunny or Shady. I don't like that title. We're going to rename it when we give this review. You guys tell me what it should have been named. I didn't like it. They could have done better. Don't forget to like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments. Okay, so let's get into it. It's been 3 weeks. We've been on a hiatus because of the Olympics. I don't know about y'all, but it was a cute little break. I was looking forward to it. This episode, I don't know. I'm seeing Mel in a different light, or I see her more clearer. She's just using people like she used Kiki, R.I.P. She just like needs a minion. Like she used Destiny. I don't know. Am I tripping or am I seeing what you guys are seeing? And if you're a millimeter, that's fine. You know, I'm nobody's nothing. I am my fan and God's. I'm God's. I'm a fan of God. Okay. So let's get into it. It was just like I don't like the way Melody is like. Why are you use? Okay, we'll get into it. So the episode starts off right. So Melody is with her class. You know, she does property preservation classes, and she's teaching them about home inspections and all that. And she got her phone in her hand, and because she does a Zoom class as well as in person. So she got students on the phone and in person, and she's with her contractor, and they're going through the house and she's pointing out stuff. And so she calls Sunny out the blue. Because she was like, oh, Sunny flips homes and she's into renovations and all that. Let me give her a call and let her know what I'm doing. So Sunny tells her that she's thinking about moving to Huntsville. And so, she said, yeah, I work there. I made some friends, some associates there, and blah, blah, blah. So Mel is like, oh, okay. So are you coming to Kimmy's event today? And so she was telling her no. And so she said, okay, well, I will let you know. I have something to tell you later. I'm going to announce it at Kimmy's event. I got plans for you, but I'll let you know about it later. Okay. So then we go over to Nell and Chris's home. And so they're talking about Dr. Francis. And, he brings her a glass of wine. And she's sitting on the couch pretending like she's reading a book. She must have just got the book. It was brand new because she looked like she was on page 1 of the fake reading of the book. Why did I notice that? So she was asking Chris, like, why was this about me and not about them? Why they bully up on me, So he was like, they got to get to the foundation of the problem, and that would be us, So she's like, oh, I get it. And so they call him because he listens to the kids. Then she says the grown children. And so she's the giver. So that's why she goes from 0 to 100 so fast. And she's just like, I'm ready to recoup my money. Like, I'm not asking you to pay me back because I know you can't, but stop asking for my money. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about now. Nell is like, look, I am 53 years old, maybe a little older, because I don't even believe that. But I want my money. Like, stop asking me for my money and not paying me back. And just calling and asking for it, not paying me back. You will get tired of that. Okay, so Chris just tells her in order for change, the grown children have to see the change in us first in order for them to change. And so she agrees. Okay, so we get to Kimmy's and Maurice's event. So they bought a piece of property. So they're trying to figure out it's on like it's in a great space, great location. So they're trying to see who they want to rent the building out to. And so there's a pop-up event that they're hosting, and the chef wants to rent the place. She wants the space. So they're having this event so everybody can come, try the food, and be honest, give your honest opinion on how her food tastes. And so they're having brunch. So Mel and Kimmy and Maurice, they tell us that they did not invite Martell, but they did invite Moses, Sunny, and Destiny, but they have not heard from any of them. So Mel asks, can she make a good announcement since everyone will be there? So they all like, you sure it's gonna be cool? And Kimmy's like, let me hear what it is first. And she said, no, it's gonna be good. Trust me, it's not gonna. It ain't no, rah rah. So they like, okay, girl. So then the Fletchers arrive, and then the Scotts show up, and so Maurice asks Tisha, like, you ain't gonna act up today, are you? Like at Nell's birthday party. She was like, oh no, no, no. It's all about communication and moving forward. And so Mel asked, okay, so since we're talking about communication, she was like, why was Black closed during homecoming? Or no, it wasn't. She didn't say homecoming. I threw that in there from what I remember hearing. She just said, why was Black closed? And so she was like, I sent some of my students over there and it was closed. So Tisha asked, well, why? Well, were they your students or were they millimeters? Millimeters. I'm sorry, millimeters. And so Mel was like, I said my students, but it don't matter. Some are millimeters. And so Tisha gonna say no, because some just come down to be nosy. And it's like, Tisha, you just said you wasn't gonna pop off. You already with that smoke. Calm down. Mel is not the one. So Marceau tells his boo Black is down for a while. And he's like, why? And Tisha's like, cause we Black. I'm like, that was a good one, Tisha. That was a good one. Keep that up. So Marceau tells his boo about the use tax. So on the furniture, you have to pay a tax on the furniture that you're using. And so he hasn't been doing that. And so that's why they got shut down. Now Mel is like, I don't believe him because that has never happened to me. Well, baby, just because it hasn't happened to you don't mean it can't happen. Okay. So then Ken and Trisha shows up, and then Stormy and Courtney come to the event. So Marceau says he's not drinking because he's trying to unbig his back, honey. Fletcher was teasing Maurice about drinking a drink out of a pink cup, a pink flute. And he said, why are you drinking out that pink cup? He said, because it got alcohol in it. I was like, exactly. But it do look weird when a man is drinking like a little out of a girly glass. And so the chef is serving her food, and everybody's just talking and laughing. And child know what was going on in that little room with that little space with them chairs, that table, and all them chairs up to that table. I guess it was not enough room for 2 tables, and we are glad that Martell, Destiny, Sunny, and Moses did not come. Well, Martell wasn't invited, but I don't know where Destiny, Moses, and Sunny would have sat because, baby, they was cramped up at that table. Baby, I don't even know how they ate because couldn't nobody hold their arm out. The table was little. And so I guess if Moses and Sunny and Destiny were to come, I guess they was gonna be sitting on the floor by the wall somewhere. It was no space. So Nell had asked, had anybody heard from Destiny? And it was like, for real, y'all, Nell, like, girl, let's talk. For real, this group is too big to be trying to gossip about someone in the group. Like this group is too big. Child. And then she whispers, so you know she ain't got no business discussing it. So Trisha said, "Oh yeah, I train her. I see her." And so yeah, she was like, "Yeah, she has some words for a few people." And so Tisha asked, "Is Kimmy one of them?" Like, how you just gonna throw her under the bus, Tisha? I thought they asked you was you gonna be cool, and here you go ruining it again. So Trisha says no. Kimmy says she talked to Sunny and Nell. No, she said no. Back up. Kimmy said she talked to Sunny, and then Nell asked, but not with Maurice, right? So what she's doing there, she's implying that you can't bring your man around Sunny. And guess who caught on to that? Tisha's dumb butt. I can't. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Tisha caught on to that, and I was like, "Yes, that's what she meant," and it was really funny. So Kimmy says, there are two sides to the story. There's two sides to this Destiny Sunny Moses story. So she said, not getting along in a relationship is not the problem. Moving on and not finishing the relationship is the problem. And someone asked, well, who was wrong, Sunny or Moses? And so Kimmy feels like Moses was the one that was in the wrong. But Stormy was like, really? Hold on, y'all. Stormy was like, really? She thinks they both are equally wrong. And so Kimmy says no, because he was in the relationship with Destiny and it was on him to end it because Sunny isn't claiming Destiny to be her friend. And I was like, that makes sense because I was going to agree with Stormy, but being that, Sunny's story is they not friends, then yeah, okay. Then it really is all on Moses, but they are both wrong. But I see both sides. Two things can be true at one time. So Chris Fletcher says that Sunny said she was just producing her and that Destiny is the one that got it all mixed up. So Tisha says that's a lie because they was hanging out and talking outside of the show. It's like, dang. Okay, Tisha, clock in for your check then, girl. So Nell says, well, Destiny was hurt at the gala. And so someone asked, well, did their stories match? And the answer was no. So Moses and they all agreed that Moses and Sunny must have been rehearsing their story because their story is the same, but it don't match with Destiny. So she had so much heat for Destiny, and she said, but you got with her ex, but you got all this smoke, but you the one that did, doing the dirt. So Chris says he showed them a house, but he didn't say Martell's house. And I'm like, maybe he left that part out because Mel was at the table. Because Chris Fletcher, he quiet and he knows how to read a room. So he didn't mention whose house that he showed, but he did tell the group that he showed them a house. So Tisha like, oh, so they're trying to move to Huntsville. They're trying to be around Destiny's friend groups. And oh my goodness, everybody's like, oh, what? So Mel said she's not here for this group combo about them because when they're not here, because they're not here to defend themselves, and she ain't with all that. So she's just sitting there being quiet. And that's why I said, Nell, girl, let's talk now. You got to read the room. It was way too many people at that table to think that you gossiping about somebody in the group was going to stay at that table. Because, honey, that little girl, Melody, she about to run and tell it. She about to run and tell it. Okay. So Melody says she is surprised that Kimmy is talking to, especially how Sunny was there for her when she had cancer. So Mel asked Trisha and Ken about modeling at the gala, like how it went. And so they both, then they brought up her divorce and how they're moving forward. And it's like, why does Trisha, why does Trisha have to explain her personal business to these people? You just pick all the time, like, well, let me tell you, we've been together. I'm divorcing. I'm still like, why do you have to tell these people that you're still married? Now they go ask you every time they see you if you're still married. So now you got to check in. So she tells them that, she's going to move forward. She's going to move forward. So with the divorce. So Marceau said, oh, yeah, he came to black. And so Trisha said, oh, yeah, he said you hurt his feelings. And I was wondering how come Ken didn't say, maybe she told Ken, but it should have seemed like Ken would have been like, you talked to old boy? But I guess she told Ken already. But I don't know because, she don't talk. She only talks to Martell and her husband. So I was shocked that Ken didn't say something. So she's telling Marceau that, oh boy, Marquez said that Marceau hurt his feelings. So Mel asked, well, what did you say? She asked her boo, what did you say? So he said, I'm just talking about the blended families. And I told him pretty much that he owed that man, talking about Ken, he owes that man a thank you. And so Ken gonna say, yeah, because I'm a man. Okay. 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 So Trisha was cracking up. She was laughing. Oh my God. Did y'all peep that? Well, he was like, I'm a man's man. And you need to tell that man thank you. Trisha was over there cracking up. Oh, conniver. So Ken said that he may be jealous because he can't add up. He can't add up to the kind of man that Ken is. And so Marcel was like, well, that's to be fair. They were married. Are married. Be jealous of your wife, not like he should be jealous of her, not you. And so they were like, well, what did he say? And so they were saying that there was a pre-relationship. And so Ken and Trisha denies it. Nuh-uh, we was not doing nothing before. Nope, that's not how this went. No, So Marceau said, nah, Ken came and took something that wasn't finished. And I said, you mean, is it finished? Ken is in something that isn't finished. And so, no, so Trisha breaking down the timeline, child. So she's like, no, we've been separated. But Marceau is asking the questions too. So she says that they've been separated since 2019. And that her and Ken been together only 2 years. So it's like, so when did y'all meet? So they said they met like 2015, 2016. They couldn't remember. They going back and forth, good rehearsing. They met on social media. And so he said, y'all wasn't, nope, we was just chatting it up, nothing else, nothing that. So Mel believes them. And she was saying, like, people can just have conversations, and that's just that. And so Marceau says, well, if you have to stop talking due to her husband coming back around, that means there was something to be stopped. Good point, Marceau. So Ken says, no, you're supposed to stop when the husband comes back around, no matter what you're talking about. You should stop when they, try to work their marriage out. And so Mel is like, correct. And so I'm sitting here like, but where did the husband go while you was chatting it up with Ken? Who was he chatting it up with? Where was he at? Whose house was he laying? Like, what's going on? And y'all, I could not get through that interview that he had with Dr. Heavenly and Carlos. You could just tell he lied. Even Carlos was looking like, you lied. You lied. You could tell that, oh boy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't believe y'all. So then Marceau and Trisha, they are in their confessionals. So they're saying, like, maybe Martell was right when he used to say Melody was talking to other guys while they were married, because she was super defending Trisha and Kim. And so Mel asked, can she make her announcement? She like, okay, Mel trying to like let's move on. She trying to move the show. So they're like, yeah, we can make the announcement. So she was like, can we go in the other room that we were in? So she's like, yeah. So they all go in there, they stand up, they're listening to her. And so she passes out these pink wine bags. And so she gives all the ladies one. And so Marcella's like, I want one. I want to go. I'm a BIT beep. I'm a BITCH. I want one. I want to go because Mel is his boo honey, and he want to go wherever she going. He would love to be on a trip with Melody, wearing swimsuits and all the stuff. He wants to be where his boo is, honey. So she invites the ladies, except for Marceau, to go on vacay to St. Thomas, the Melody Cherie way. But Nell is reading the message inside the bottle because that's what was in the gift bags. Were the wine bottles? They were wine bottles, but they had a message in a bottle in them. You twist the top, pull it out. It had lights in it, and it had the invitation. So Nell mispronounces Melody's middle name and calls her Melody Cherie. Lord, and she said Cherie. And Tisha had to put her little jab in there. Tisha ate that all up with a biscuit and some extra gravy. Oh, sorry. Speaking of food, y'all, everyone loved the chef's food. I heard Stormy say she could eat the chicken all night long. Marcel said he loved the catfish. Melody said she loved the green beans. She would like to take some home. And just everybody was raving. I heard her say she had, I guess, a chicken and a catfish. I remember hearing dressing and cranberry sauce, maybe mac and cheese. So they loved the food. They said it was the bomb. Okay, so Tisha asked, could she bring a friend? And so Melody was like, yeah, because I'm bringing my single friends. And, as long as you want to bring a friend, I don't know if she's going to have her own room. But if you don't mind her sharing a bed with you, then, yeah, you can bring your friend. And so Mel tells us she's inviting Sunni. And she wants her to know that the ladies aren't feeling her. Okay, girl, we know you finna run back and tell it. We know you finna run back and tell it, girl. So over at Kimmy's house, Destiny and Tisha pays her a visit. They sit down with their little charcuterie board. And so they're asking Destiny why she didn't come to Kimmy's event. And so she said, I was on a date. I was out of town. And I'm like, Destiny, girl, show us some proof. We needed a flashback to you going to the airport flying with some man. We could have saw a hand, a shoe, a hat, half an eyebrow. I needed proof. Because other than that, you just blowing smoke, girl. Let's talk. So she went on a double date, so she say. And I was like, with who? Okay, so Kimmy tells Destiny that she went on a double date. Her and Maurice went on a double date with Sunni and Moses. And so she felt like she could do that because Sunni was there for her. And so she felt like she had that measure with Sunni to ask her side of the story. You did, Kimmy? You did. So she says they just dragging everybody into this. This is what Destiny's saying. They just dragging everybody into this. And, she just wants them to go on about their business. Like, why is Moses and Sunni pulling everybody into this story? Like, leave my friends alone. Goodness, now you're trying to move. So they told Kimmy about going to see Martell's house. And they're very surprised, but they know Martell needs the money. Desi says she wants a piece of the check too, for the referral. So Martell and Kimmy are on Team Destiny, and they were letting Sunni know that we are Team Destiny. And so Destiny is like, well, I know that they're dealing with them, but it's just annoying. Like, leave them alone. So Destiny tells them about the Martell and Trisha fiasco. Uh-huh. So Trisha's been, they say Trisha's been to his house a few times. She's denying it. She says it's not true. They communicated via DM and they just cool. Just cool, like for what, girl? What kind of, for what? What kind of cool? Uh-huh. What kind of interest? What kind of cool? What kind of, uh-huh. So Tisha shows Destiny the invitation to St. Thomas and invites her to be her plus one. And so Kimmy asked, but did you tell Mel? And she was like, no, I didn't. She didn't give us names of her single friends that are coming. And so Kimmy tells Tisha, you are so tough. You gonna get a whooping. You know this is not gonna end well. Why are you so messy? So Destiny has to pray. And matter of fact, let me stop. Tisha's makeup was pretty on tonight's episode. She just looked so fresh in her face. It was just, she just really looked young and supple. So Destiny says she got to pray about going. She just don't know. And so Kimmy hopes for resolve for her and Mel. And I mean, since you're on this show, like you gotta do something, y'all. You can't keep taping separately. We already got Mel and Martell taping separately where they can't be invited to everything because they don't want to be around each other. Well, she don't want to be around him. So, it's like this is the show, and so Destiny, go home and pack because you gotta come. So Mel and Sunny meet at a boutique. So Mel is trying to get her shopping on for the trip. She's looking for at swimsuits. And so Sunny joins her. So she tells about the trip. And she was like, the girls ain't checking for you. And it's like, that's not how you tell somebody something. But go at it, girl. So Mel feels she wants to tell Sunny what Kimmy said because she likes a heads up. Like with something going on, she likes for people to tell her what's up. What's up? So Sunny thought Kimmy was supportive, and Mel was like, "Oh, really? Real supportive?" Like, oh my God, Melody, you are acting a good job too. You're doing good. So she said, well, she has some disdain about them moving to Huntsville. Then she tells us in her confession that she feels that they are all wrong. Melody was like, yeah, everybody is wrong. So she tells Sunny that maybe these women are triggered. Mel finds it funny how they feel triggered by you. Maybe that's just how they are. Maybe and so then Mel compares her marriage and uh how they treated Martell, how they stayed friends with Martell, and they couldn't understand how she couldn't understand how they still was friends with him. Like I was married to this man 14 years, had kids with him, and he went out and had a baby on me. Like Sunny didn't do half the dirt to Destiny, but they are just outcasting Sunny, but they don't have that same smoke for Martell. So Sunny doesn't want to be attacked anymore. She has been attacked. Well, then don't move to Huntsville, girl. Stay in St. Louis. So she's going to decide if she wants to come on the trip. Mel says, forget them. If they come at you, girl, they ain't about no girl code. They can kiss my ass because they don't know nothing about no girl code. And I'm just like, dang, Mel. And that's the end of the show. And I'm just like, dang, Mel, you are just so. Why do you pick minions? Is that your stilo? Like you just gotta. Why? Why? Anyway, y'all, what are we gonna rate this episode? And what are we gonna rename it? Because I did not like Forecast, Sunny, or Shady. Nothing really came up. I don't know. I need to think about it more because I was just like, oh my goodness. Oh, brother. They weird me out, y'all. How many more seasons they gonna go with this? We need a whole new shakeup. But anyway, besties, that's the end of the episode. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. It helps build the community. And guess what? I'll see you in the next video, besties. Bye.